Alright, YouTubers, I'm just making a quick cruise to family member's house, to my uncle's house. No cats. I'm just going there and coming back. Still in an empty RV, which is kind of cool. But my plan is, he's got I got that little mini propane grill, and I think it's kind of messed up. Well, he's got two of them. He tried to give me both before, but I just took the one. Now I think I'm going to grab the other one and maybe see if I can swap the guts out, pieces, parts, and make one, or just start using the other one if that's not going to work. It was still working, but something's not right with it. The bottom heat element plate seems to be a little broke. I need to tear it apart. I got to do a couple other things, but since I'm going down there, I'm also going to get him to help me flip that bed back there. Again, it's a hotel grade bed, and it has padding on both sides, so it's flippable. You can sleep on either side, and it's a two-person job. So since I'm going there anyways, I figure I'd get him to do that, help me do that. So that should be fun. If I have any ramble topics coming up during this drive, I will share those with you. But as for right now, all my best rambling ideas seem to come to me at night when the camera's not around. And then by the next day, I got sometimer's disease. Sometimes I remember shit, sometimes I don't. So, but we'll see if anything hits me. That's it for now. I'll add this too. We got a cold slap across the face here in Ohio. I can't believe I haven't turned my furnace on yet. It's been that cold. But it just reminded me I don't want to do winter here. I want at least one winter break, because I don't always hate winter. Sometimes I actually enjoy the snow, but I think I need a break. So it reminds me the logistics of doing a very extended trip are things I need to get myself motivated for and actually accomplish. I can tend to procrastinate a little bit. It's a sickness. I've handled some of the logistics, but there's other things I'm gonna need to do, because I think so far the longest trip I've taken in the RV has been like a month and a half. And when you start talking about longer than that, there's a lot of things you have to account for. Just life. I'm also one of those procrastinators that gets it done somehow, you know. That person, like the day before a big event, is like, there's no possible way, and it gets done. I don't understand it. I'm old enough now that I'm going to try to improve it, but I'm not really going to expect it to change all that much. I kind of am what I am by this point, you know. And we all have those things about ourselves we wish we did a little bit differently. And I spent enough years kicking myself over those aspects that I'm just going to try to roll with it. Float on the wave. Alright, that's enough for now. Oh, it's a gray and dreary day, which makes me think I have the new GoPro windshield mount, and I don't usually point it at my face. This is kind of weird. I'm always unsure how other YouTubers do that all the time. It just feels odd. But with the new one, I can spin it. So that's kind of a cool feature, but it's nasty out there. So I guess you're gonna have to choose which nasty thing you want filling your screen. Alright. You could always just put a blanket over your screen and listen to my probably just as irritating voice. oops, I just hit a bump and I realized I didn't have my air ride inflated. Mine loses a little air as it sits. I know it needs some maintenance, but money. It'll hold air while I'm driving, but it just seems if once it sits long enough, it seems to lose some air. It's on the list. It's not a long list. Maybe I have to do some research and find some downtime to see if I can figure it out myself, which I'm sure would result in the throwing of a great many tools. Because, you know, even though a Class B is tall, they're not very far off the ground. It is not easy to get up and underneath these. But I guess at my other uncle's house, where the driveway is sloped and we built those ramps, I could probably get a look at it under there. And another thing, if anybody watches this and actually knows the answer, not thinks they know an answer, but knows the answer, on that whole airbag ride system, I have the documents for it. I've done some online searching, but I have no idea what they really recommend, what pressure to set it at. I've done, just over a couple of years, I've done trial and error, and it seems like 50 pounds works, but I have no idea what you're supposed to set it at. And nowhere in anything that I can see does it tell you what you should set it at. I guess it's just a matter of feeling which gives you the least amount of bounce. That would have been much, much worse without the airbag, because I remember, because I just forgot to set it and it was pretty bad. Alright, so if anybody knows what the heck you're supposed to set those things to, I would really appreciate it. Quick 5-second complaint about drivers. Please don't slow down on the highway. Why do people slow down on the highway when they're going on an exit ramp? Especially a very, very long exit ramp. Keep your speed. When you get on the exit ramp, slow down. I don't understand. Okay, rambling thought. When you meet people, I think I've done well, like the last probably 5 years, I no longer ask, what do you do? As in, what's your job? Because for so long, we all do that, like it defines a person. And I've realized my old jobs, they're just what I did. It didn't define me. It wasn't who I am. It was just something I did to pay the bills, to buy the stuff that I didn't need, that didn't make me happy, yada, yada, yada. All that stuff. So I really try to do my best to not worry about what people do or place too much status in what they do, because, again, it's not who you are. I've had jobs where I made money that surprised me, that somebody would pay me that much money, and it definitely didn't define who I was, but I used to think it did. It's an easy thing for us to all do, to start thinking the number of zeros at the end of our salary means we're better or worse than somebody else, and it's got nothing to do with it, in my opinion now. It took me too long to figure it out, but they do all the different studies, and some of the happiest people out there are people that really don't have a lot. Financially, I have far less than I've had probably damn near my entire life. But I couldn't be any happier. For the most part, I try to promote a very happy-go-lucky and easygoing thing. That doesn't mean I have those days where I wish the whole world would disappear. But then again, if you watch many of my videos, maybe that is an underlying theme I have, of trying to find the areas with the least amount of people. Which is surprising for me. I mean, having grown up in New York, I never thought I would be that way, that I always needed to be around people. I say as a kid I got deported to Ohio. I did not want to go, and I had a very difficult time getting used to quiet, getting used to nature. I was forced to be in the Boy Scouts, which, you know, is a good sense of ridicule and a good joke to make against people. But, you know, before that, I was afraid to go in the woods. You know, I thought there was a bear behind every tree as a kid. The couple times I had been in nature, it was, I'd much rather be on the street corner with people with knives than I would be out in the woods thinking some wild animal was going to come get me. But I think I've said before, I've rambled before, they made me go to Boy Scouts kicking and screaming. I was not going to go hang out with these farmers and a bunch of idiots. And the first camp out I went out on, they said, "Do you want to make a fire?" I was like, I get to make a fire? I was in, man. I was in. And I think that really taught me to have a very good appreciation for nature, to the amazingness of nature, to the power of solitude, the power of quiet. I didn't understand that, and I don't know if I've understood it completely my whole life, because I've always been a loud person, you know, an active kind of person, and now I've changed a little bit, and I'm a lot calmer, a lot quieter. I don't know if this ramble is going to make the cut, but I think, you know, there's hundreds of books and famous authors and all that kind of stuff that goes on about the power of nature. And I think for most people, not everybody, but for most people, given the opportunity, you'll get it. You know, Thoreau and all those guys that I'm not smart enough or cultured enough to be able to quote. John Muir. I mean, every time I read a new quote of John Muir, I'm just like, yeah, I get it. I didn't get it before. It's not all cell phones and social media and chance, shallow, superficial meetings. There's more to it than that. There's more to yourself than that, I think. So there is a pointless ramble. Oh my gosh, maybe this thing makes more noise when it's empty. Please don't let me go to bitching about the roads. But I'm almost there. So I will call this it. See if it's worth anything. See how many thumbs down I can get, because people love their thumbs down. That's something I've never done. I've never thumbs down anything. I don't get the point. Yeah, I gave you a thumbs down. Alright. I don't get it. I'm not mad about much. I don't think everybody else is wrong and I'm right. Well, I'm pretty right. Joke. Everybody's take on it is their take on it. It's not a competition on whose take is the most accurate. Your take is your take, and it's right for you. And commence the thumbs down. I have that one person that thumbs down everything. If I don't get that thumbs down within an hour, I think I need to call an ambulance and send it to somebody, but that'll make somebody mad. Because, you know, not everybody has a sense of humor. Alright, YouTubers, have a great and wonderful day.